Could you, we could tell him to start, and if they, maybe you could tell the guy. Who was in Professor Miller's class? Just you two?
I guess.
In other world, right. Yeah. He said what you should think about is the impact of something like
always considered as one of the oldest cities in all over the world, because we found in this area the foundation of a village built since 8,000 years, and we call that period the Neolithic epoch. Now, since the 6th millennium until the beginning of the 20th century, we was invaded by 19 civilizations. 19. We have had the Neolithics, Canaanites, Phoenicians, Egyptians, Assyrians, Sumerians, Akkadians, Babylonians, Greeks, Romans, Byzantines, Arabs, Islamists, Fatimids, Crusaders. I stop here. Because we are on the front of a castle built by the Crusaders on the beginning of the 12th century and exactly on the year 1104. Now, when the Crusaders arrived, they found 3 monuments. They destroyed it. They used the stones to build this fortress. The white stones you see at the entrance on the towers and on the walls, it's coming from a Roman temple. The other stones, we call it sandstone, and it's very crumbled, as you see, and it's coming from a Persian palace. Now, to consolidate the wall, because it's crumbled, they used too many columns of granite. They cut each column on 2 or 3 pieces, they put it on the wall to consolidate it. See it? 1187. 83 years after the construction of this fortress, a battle happened between Saladin the Ayyubi and the Crusaders. And the winner was Saladin. So he took all the castles in Palestine, Syria, and Lebanon. 10 years after he died, the Crusaders took again the castles, and they stayed in our country until 1293. In 1293, we was invaded by the Mamluks who came from Egypt. They stayed until 1516. In 1516, the Ottomans arrived until 1918, end of the First World War. In 1918, Sarkozy arrived, the French, until 1943. In 1943, we have had our independence, and from 1943 until now, I prefer to shut my mouth.
19 different people.
On the 19th century.
لا انا هلا بقول لك كل شيء بيجي على جبيل بروح على الاديساند وهيك ولا مره جاي على القلعه.
من حرب اللبنان. Okay. From here we can see the remains of the Phoenician houses. This is our village built on the 3rd millennium before Christ. And to be in security, they built the first fortification. Now, between the fortification and the city, you can see a little road, a little path, arriving until the Phoenician harbor. It's behind the trees, right there. This is the only site in all Lebanon who has 6 names. The pharaohs called it Kupna and sometimes Kibna. And the meaning is the mountains of cedars. And the pharaohs needs the wood of cedars not only to make ships or windows or sarcophagus.
For injections.
It was very important, but because they arrived to have from this wood a liquid for the mummification. The third name is Jbeil. Jbeil meaning the little mountain. And when you are on a little mountain, you are in security. Not like today, yeah? If you are in a little mountain, they can shoot you in 1 second today. Fourth, we have too many wells. And when you have well, you have water. And the water was the soul of the city. And when the Italians arrived with the Crusaders, they have the choice between Jbeil and Jbeil, and they said we have to call it Jbeiletto. And Etto in Italian meaning small. So the meaning is the small town of Jbeil. So we have Kupna, Kitni, Jbeil, Jbeil, Byblos, Jbeiletto, 6 names for 6 regions. It's enough, 1 name for each area. And at the end, you see the white stairs. You see it? It was the entrance of the city on the third millennium before Christ. Phoenician entrance city. Behind it, the big stones you see from here, you see it? It's the same stones here. And when the Crusaders arrived, they destroyed, it was the Persian palace, completely destroyed by the Crusaders to build this fortress. On the right, you see some standing stones. This is the temple of obelisks, or the temple of Rashaf. Rashaf was the god of war at the Phoenician time. Sir, yes, Rashaf. Sir, there is no roof for this temple, no ceiling, because each obelisk represents the sun. So the sun must come inside to purify it. And on this temple we found about 1,500 figurines, statues, representing the Phoenicians. The small of it's about 3 centimeters in height, and the biggest one reached 38 centimeters in height. And it's in bronze, painted in gold. And it's a gift from the people to the god. And this temple was built on the 18th century BC. The second temple is behind the trees here, and we call it the temple of El, because he is like the letter L. We don't know for whom it was made, but we only knew that it was built on the 3rd millennium before Christ. Look at this. Oh my God. So when we say Baalat, we have to think about Baalbek. Right? What is the meaning of Baalat? Baal. Baal meaning the master. La Sabaat wala Balur. Baal meaning the master. And Bek is the valley. So the meaning is the master of the valley. And here we have the female of Baal is Baalat, the lady of Jbeil, the lady of Byblos. Built on the 3rd millennium before Christ. Between the 2 temples and behind this tree, we found the well of Byblos. And when you have well, you have water, and the water was the soul of the city. And from this well until this house, the archaeologists found on the earth about 2,000 funerary jars. On each jar, we found a skeleton of a human being sitting like the child on the wall, like this. I am talking about 8,000 years. At this time, nobody knew how to read or how to write. But everybody observed the nature and they saw that each oval form, like the egg, like a pregnant woman, that's meaning giving life. So they buried the dead in fetus position in an oval jar to be reborn. Unfortunately, the jars we found in Byblos were completely destroyed during the Civil War, except one jar of a baby of 5 years. We are going to say it now in our museum. I will write your names in Phoenician. You can keep it like a so. شو بدي هاد؟ سينتيا معلش خلينا هيك نحكي. سينتيا. إذا بدك إياها بتصير هيك. أوكي؟ خلي لي سينتيا. يلا. خلود. الله أكبر والعزة للعرب خلود. هلا كيف بدنا نكتب الخير؟ يا الله هي طلعت هيك خلود.
He's gonna have trouble with you too. Right?
شاهيك. شاهيك.
شين ألف ري كاف.
لا شين ألف.
ري كاف شاهيك.
غين. شين ألف غين.
أرمنيين؟
أي.
شاغيت. ايش معنى شاغيت؟
يعني دون